Prime Minister has pledged a $10,000 bonus payment to apprentice tradies in an election promise aimed at encouraging more young Aussies to take up the tools. It's hoped the scheme would provide a boost to our residential housing sector and help the government meet its target of building 1.2 million homes over the next 5 years. Joining us now is Education Minister Jason Clare and Deputy Opposition Leader Susan Lee. Good morning to both of you. Jason, the Master Builders Association has forecast a shortage of about 130,000 construction workers in 2024. We need these tradies. Do you think the payments are going to solve the problem?
Well, it's a big part of it. It'll help apprentices. It'll put more money in their pockets, help them with the cost of living. But as you say, it'll also help us to get more tradies and also help us to build more homes. We need more tradies, in particular plumbers and electricians and carpenters, to build more homes. Apprentices don't get paid that much, and a lot of them don't finish their apprenticeship. So this retention payment over the period of the apprenticeship will help to make sure that they complete their apprenticeship, give them a bit more money in their pocket to do that. And if they're living away from home, then there's extra money for them as well to help them to pay the rent. So, you know, it's a good policy. Compare that to that crazy policy that Peter Dutton announced the other day to make taxpayers pay for their bosses' lunches. You know, just insane.
Well, actually, I think the Caterers Association and Restaurants Association is in favour of that because a lot of cafes are small businesses. But we are talking about this at the moment. Do you support this, Susan? They won't get the 10 grand up front. I think they'll get it through their trade period. Will you get behind it?
Nat, we'll look at the announcement as we always do, but we think we can support it because Labor's cost of living crisis has hit tradies and apprentices particularly hard. It's so tough to be an apprentice now. You just can't afford your basic cost of living. But just remember this, in the time it's taken Labor to announce this policy, we've lost over 80,000 apprentices and trainees from the skills and training pipeline. The number of women starting in trades and training has halved. We've lost 26% of our construction trade apprentices. And these awful statistics map over to the small businesses themselves because we've lost 26,000 small businesses, and the biggest sector represented in those business insolvencies is the construction trades. So this is really tough out there right now.
OK, but you support it, Susan?
As I said,
what are you going to do about it?
Well, our skills policy will come soon enough, Jason.
Yeah, but you do support this one?
So is Christmas. There's an election coming, Susan, and we've had 2.5 years, and all we get from you is whinging no policies. We're offering free TAFE for tradies, and you want free lunches for your bosses. You know, this policy is that crazy. You had to put out a statement the other day saying it won't apply to brothels or strip clubs, and you still won't even tell us how much it's going to cost taxpayers.
Jason,
let's just talk about this for a start.
Are you talking about the trades, or are you veering off the really terrible record you have?
Well, I want to know, why won't you support free TAFE for tradies? And how much will this crazy policy announced the other day cost?
Susan, let's just drill down. Will you support the $10,000 for tradies?
We are likely to, Nat.
Okay.
I said that already because we know how tough it is out there with Labor's cost of living crisis for our tradies and particularly for our apprentices.
Let's go to something.
I stand on the factory floor. On the factory floor of workshops every day, and I talk to apprentices who are struggling with Labor's cost of living crisis. So we want to back them in. We know they're an important part of the construction economy. We also know that talking about building Australia's future, the builders are going bust under Labor as well.
Yep. Let's talk about something that's coming up. Everyone's talking about this. Public support towards Australia Day is on the up after widespread controversy. New polling shows 61% are now in favour, with over half of voters getting behind keeping January 26th just the way it is. One of Peter Dutton's key proposals is to keep Australia Day on the 26th of January. Jason, will your government make the same promise?
The date's not changing that. You know, we have the same fake fight every year. We're the best country in the world. Australia Day is a great opportunity to celebrate that. We don't beat our chest like other countries, but it's the truth.
I don't know.
We are the best country in the world. This weekend, Aussies will celebrate it in different ways. A lot of Aussies will get together with their family and their friends, have a barbie, have a few beers just before school goes back and work cracks on good and proper. But again, Nat, this is just another distraction from Dutton to conceal this stinker of a policy. I know there's a smelly flower in Sydney today. The real stinker here is this idea that taxpayers should pay for their boss's lunch, and you still won't tell us how much it's going to cost.
OK, I think it was about 20,000, I think that was announced. But back on this, the protesters who protest every Australia Day...
It hasn't been announced.
The protesters, they don't think it's a fake fight. They bring it up every Australia Day. We all have to deal with it. Dutton wants to put it into a federal law, January 26, to keep it. Will you do that?
It's already in employment law, Nat.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying this is a fake fight to distract from the mess of Peter Dutton's crazy policies.
OK, Susan, so what, is that just a furphy that Dutton's doing the federal law thing?
Nat, I just want the question on Australia Day to be not about changing the date, but where will you celebrate Australia Day? You're having a barbie at home? Are you going to the beach? Are you having a picnic by the river?
So there's no point in Dutton
celebrate this day that brings Australians today?
A law in place, there's already one. So why is he bringing that up, Susan?
Well, because Labor tried to give councils the option of moving the date to celebrate citizenship ceremonies, and then the Prime Minister and Jason worked out that actually Australians don't want this at all. They want Australia Day to be a special day, and they want citizenship ceremonies on that day.
OK. OK, clear as mud. Thank you. See you next week. Here's Chevo.